Hey everybody, welcome back. Jimbo Klimbo here with Jimbo Klimbo Gaming. In this video, I wanted to kind of take a look more in depth at the Misc hullc. I have been using it for a little bit of time now, and I wanted to share some thoughts about maybe the positives and maybe the negatives of the hullc. So if you're interested in some of those opinions or some of my insight, stick around. Appreciate you guys watching. Let's get into it. Alright, so what is the hullc, right? Everybody kind of knows that it's just kind of a big freight mover, but it is an enormous and vulnerable freight mover. It moves up to 4,600 plus SCU of cargo at one time. It does have vulnerabilities such as a low defense. The shields and hull for the size of the ship are, you could argue they're good or bad. However, in my experience, I haven't necessarily really found it being too vulnerable too much. However, while that sounds like it's, on paper it's balanced well, but in reality, it kind of pushes this ship into a strange spot. Either players avoid flying it because of maybe the risks outweigh the reward, or they think that it's just not part of their gameplay loop. Perhaps it's the high in-store price, whether it's in-game or out of game. Those are some of the drawbacks that a new player or someone new to freight or someone that just likes doing freight but doesn't necessarily want to get into the hullc type of cargo movement. It is a very different style of cargo movement in the way of you're not physically moving boxes off of the cargo grids into a freight elevator inside of your hangar at different points around the Star Citizen universe. However, I have found that for me, this has proved to be a advantage that some may seem it's a little bit too much of an advantage. And I had a comment on one of my other videos that kind of provoked some thought. So in this video, you will see what I normally kind of do in the hullc. I go for the biggest payout under the experienced rank category. Now that being around $700,000 for approximately 20 minutes of gameplay, whereas I used to have to grind quite a long time to be able to get to $700,000+. Now with the hullc, this opens up an entirely new set of circumstances where I can make a lot of money in a rather short amount of real world time. Now, if everything goes well and everything works and I'm able to accept this mission and go back and forth within that 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, stopping to maybe refuel every once in a while, maybe get food if I haven't done that already. Now this turns into a very lucrative loop that you can get several $1 million in just under an hour. What my subscriber commented was, doesn't the hullc kind of take the fun out of the game? Doesn't it sort of kind of break the game a little bit? Now I thought about that and I was like, it kind of does. In a way, if you look at it in certain lenses, for me, before I had the hullc, I was using larger and larger internal stored freight movers, such as I started out with, I believe it was the Freelancer, and then I upgraded to the Freelancer Max, and then I further upgraded to the Starlancer Max. For the Race for Stanton event, I moved over to, I did get a raft, simply because the mechanics during that that time and for that particular patch integration, it seemed to be the best option and the most effective way to be able to move the cargo for that specific event. Now, I was able to do that, but not everybody is able to get a Starlancer or a raft or have multiple of these types of freight ships if you like that type of gameplay loop within Star Citizen. Now, the hullc became available in the store, and I did melt my Starlancer Max for the hullc. Now, the CCU game, it kind of made sense for me to be able to do that. I do have lifetime insurance on this particular hullc, and I did get it well under what the store price was. But since I've been playing with it and being able to move the freight, it has proved to be something that I do enjoy, minus all the drawbacks that the comment highlighted. It does make this gameplay loop a money printing machine. Now, why would someone want a money printing machine? If you have too much money, doesn't it take out the fun out of the game? You're not going to be able to explore as much, perhaps, or experience the game in different varieties of ways. Now, keep in mind, the hullc isn't really designed for anything less than the experience level freight missions, in my opinion. Now, are they possible to do in the lower missions? Yes, they are. However, it's not as effective without the experience level mission rep that you have for freight or Covalax. So if you are looking at the hullc as a potential option for you, just keep in mind that if you're not at the experience level yet, you may want to consider the lower options, the internal stored freight movers such as the Starlancer Max, or maybe even the C2, or you could even go lower than that. It just really depends on what your time commitment is for that particular play period. But for me, the hullc and my time commitment to this game and what I have to be able to commit to it, it made sense. Now, these were factors that I did weigh for my personal life that just were able to work out. I typically can commit a few hours to Star Citizen throughout the several times a week, maybe 3 or 4, depending on the week. Now, juggling my real-time job, family time, extracurricular stuff, things of that nature, stuff that I like to do outside of Star Citizen. So if you are looking at the hullc as a potential buy, understand that if you don't have the rep level yet for the freight missions, underexperienced, you're not going to necessarily be able to maximize the full capacity of the hullc and that 700k per mission movement for a 20-minute time commitment, roughly. Now, let's move into some of the bugs and things that the hullc does have. Now, Star Citizen has addressed some of these, but in my limited experience with the hullc, I've generally had good luck with being able to request boxes, the cargo grid boxes, to be able to load and unload the cargo onto the hullc without moving much within that box. Your experience is going to vary depending on the server, perhaps the patch cycle that you're in. There are a lot of variables that can go into this being a smooth, I guess, mission and experience with the hullc. So I did some B-roll footage here, just showing a real-time mission for the 700K mission in the experience level of what it actually looks like. Now, I did have to request from the ATC several times to be able to have permission to be able to generate this cargo box. It took me approximately, I think it was 5 to 7 times that I had to go back and click back and re-ask, cancel the request, re-ask again. And that's a bit frustrating, especially when you are committing so much real money into a ship like this, such as I did. The load time is such a quality of life, and the load style is such a quality of life improvement for my particular expectation from freight missions. You pull up, you request access, they grant you access, you go into the box, it automatically loads, 3,000, 4,000 SCU of cargo without you necessarily having to worry about a multi-tool. Is the multi-tool going to be affected by server issues? None of that is something that I really have to worry about. Did I forget my multi-tool? Do I have a max lift on my backpack? With the hullc, you don't have to worry about any of that, because you literally request access, it automatically loads, and then you leave. You jump to the next delivery point, and you drop the cargo in the same fashion. Now, for some, you could see this as how it compromises kind of the fun element of cargo movement and overall the experience of what a freight runner or a freight hauler is. I could very much see that point of view, and I do respect anybody that does have that point of view and disagrees with my opinions. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the hullc overall. You're not going to hurt my feelings. This video is more designed for kind of a monologue, kind of my opinions about the hullc. But overall, I think it is a great ship that doesn't necessarily compromise gameplay much. Now, I will say that the hullc, what I use it for is to be able to get a lot of money in the most efficient amount of time, and be able to buy in-game ships, so I don't have to necessarily buy them on the store with real money. That is something that allows me to explore a variety of different experiences within Star Citizen. I've bought a Terrapin Medic with this. I'm going to be buying a Guardian MX with this. With the proceeds of just 20 minutes of gameplay over and over again, you can get all this stuff. My next purchase after the Guardian is going to be a C2, where I can kind of get back to that old school internal storage cargo movement. So that way it gives me options, and it doesn't necessarily pigeonhole me into one style of freight moving. Another quality of life update or aspect of the hullc is these long quantum jump travels. Now in this video, I'm going from Everest Harbor to Magnus to be able to get this freight movement mission done. So I started at Everest. I jumped out to Magnus to be able to get this. So I'm sorry. I started Bajini Point to Everest, Everest to Magnus, and then that will conclude this loop. Now, these jumps are gonna take approximately, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 minutes, perhaps, especially going out, which does allow me to be able to kind of set it and forget it, and maybe use the bathroom, get something to drink, go downstairs and just kind of, reassimilate myself with the family, check in, see how everything's going. If you need to get a snack, those are all things that you could do when you are in the quantum jump. Now, you do have to worry about being interdicted while you are away from your PC, potentially. Now, that has happened in the past. However, I've never lost a mission load, cargo load, to this yet, knock on wood. But I think the quality of life is definitely there for the hullc, in respect to, if you're considering getting it, maybe considering why not to get it. But overall, I think it's a great option to anybody that is serious about freight hauling and wondering if this is the ship for me necessarily. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I am looking forward to comments down below, so please leave me one so we can kind of talk more about this. If there's any other points, pro or con, towards the hullc, let me know down in the comment section. And if you're liking this content, please consider hitting that subscribe button and give the video a like as well. I appreciate you guys watching, and I look forward to making more content and videos about Star Citizen and gaming in general. And I hope to see you in my next video. And at that, we will leave it there.